So one fact you might not know about sandworms is that spice melange is actually the poop of their offspring, because we all know who the real star of the show is, don't we? Anyway, you'll need some sand-coloured yarn, some grey yarn and some fluff for the stuffing. Alongside this, you'll need a 4mm hook and a darning needle. If you've already got everything to hand, let's flipping go. For row 1, you're going to make a magic circle, then make 5 single crochets into it. You're going to finish this with a slip stitch in the first single crochet, making a total of 5 stitches. So for this row, you're going to put 2 single crochets into every stitch, starting with the stitch you're currently on. You'll finish again with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. This will make a total of 10 stitches. For row 3, we're going to put 1 single crochet into the stitch we're currently on, then 2 single crochets into the next stitch, then 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets, 1 and then 2, repeating this around the row and finishing with a slip stitch as always. This will bring your total to 15 stitches. Row 4 is easy. We're just gonna single crochet in every stitch in the row. And you guessed it, finishing with a slip stitch as usual. This will leave your total at 15 stitches again. Rows 5 to 11 are simple repeats of row 4. That is, 1 single crochet in every stitch of the row, finishing with a slip stitch, for a total of 15 stitches in every row. I'll meet you back at row 12, and in the meantime you can watch me lose count of my stitches and panic. I'd always recommend using a stitch marker, but I never use one myself. This error will teach me nothing. If all has gone to plan, your sandworm should look something like this. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. We're going for a sort of golden sausage. Okay, this is the fun part. For this row, we're increasing, which means 2 single crochets in each stitch, finishing with a slip stitch as always, for a total of 30 stitches. While you're trying to count, I'm going to give you some sandworm facts for inspiration. Did you know that not only do they produce spice, but all of the oxygen on the planet? They're also deathly allergic to water. It's toxic to them. Most importantly, they have beautiful singing voices. Ba 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 ba. Row 13. We're on row 13, and this row requires a picot stitch to make the flaps, but if you've never done this before, don't worry, we're going to take it slow for the first 2 sequences. You're going to single crochet in the first 3 stitches, like this. After which, we're going to chain 5, like this. Okay, now you're going to push the hook through the 2 front loops, these loops here. Then yarn over, pull through both loops, and then pull through the final loop as well to make a slip stitch. And there is your first flap. So let's do that again. You're going to single crochet in 3 stitches. It's 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the hook through the front 2 loops here. Yarn over, pull through both, and then pull through the slip stitch as well. There you go. So repeat this pattern until you're at the end of the row, and I'll meet you there. So once you've finished your final picot stitch, you want to put 3 more single crochets to finish the row. There's 1, there's 2, and your third will go under the first picot stitch here. Finish with a slip stitch, cast off, and then cut the yarn. You don't need a long length of yarn, so don't worry about that. And there you go. The body is complete. So with your grey yarn, you're going to make a magic circle, and into that magic circle you are going to place 20 half double crochets. A half double crochets are very easy. Simply yarn over, put into the magic circle, grab the yarn and pull through all 3 loops at once. It's half a double crochet. Once you've finished your 20 half double crochets, all you need to do is put a slip stitch in the first stitch. Then cast off, making sure you've got quite a good length of yarn, as we're going to use this for our stitching later. When it comes to stuffing, there are a few rules I like to abide by. 1, take it slowly and little by little. 2, make sure it's firm enough to stand up, but not so full it stretches the yarn or can be seen through the stitches. And 3, make sure it's evenly distributed so you don't have any floppy bits. Once your worm is suitably stuffed, grab your teeth because it's time to stitch. Grab your darning needle and thread the grey yarn through it. To attach to the body, we're going to line the needle up with row 12, which was the row we increased to 30 stitches. Like the picot stitch, we're going to find 2 front loops to start from and push the needle through. We're then going to line the teeth up and blanket stitch through every stitch on the teeth. Because the teeth have 20 stitches and the body row has 30, we're going to try to evenly spread out the loops you stitch into for the body so that they match up. So once we finish stitching, we're going to tidy up the loose ends. Starting with the teeth and using the back of the needle, we're going to push the yarn into the stuffing of the body. This will hide it. Do the same for the sandworm's butt and for his flaps, as shown here. I've made a few variations of sandworm along the way. This guy has some ribbon and is made with more stitches, so he's bigger. The ribbon is made with single crochets following a row evenly spaced out. I also made the teeth from double crochets, not half double crochet, which seemed a little bit loose to me. And I also gave him a white trim on the flaps, which I'm undecided about. Another one I made had smaller flaps, but the teeth look better in half double crochet. And this one also has ribbing. If you'd like to add ribbon to yours, the written pattern for the entire worm is included in the description below, and it's free to use. Whichever worm you choose to make, I hope you'll share it with me, as this is my first pattern on YouTube and I'd love to see it, as I know these chaps would too. Thanks for watching, goodbye!